to Kearney, Nebraska in March is an amazing thing to do. The reason is sandhill cranes. If you're a birder, a nature lover, or just a human being, seeing and hearing hundreds of thousands of these magnificent birds flying through the skies of the Platte River Flyway is something you will never forget.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Each year in February and March, the spring migration of lesser and greater sandhill cranes takes place. They come to the Platte River and the fields nearby for about a month. Even though sandhill cranes are very strong flyers capable of covering 400 miles a day, they are traveling from southern wintering places like Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and Mexico, and need to rest and rejuvenate in preparation for their final travels. It's estimated that 80% of the world's sandhill population make their way through the Central Flyway. We're not early morning people, but to see the cranes in Nebraska in their full glory is almost a necessity to get to the river in the morning. We stopped at one of the bridges with viewing platforms before sunrise, and the cranes were there. The idea was to stay there until the birds all flew up and away. This is where patience comes into play. We were there for well over 2 hours, but it was worth it. The wonderful thing is that you can watch the cranes in the morning after their nightly roost, and then spend the day driving around back roads and see the cranes feeding in the cornfields and meadows. There are also wonderful resources in the area to visit, including the Rose Sanctuary near Kearney and the Crane Trust Nature and Visitors Center in Wood River. After a rest and a good meal, we returned in the evening to watch the cranes return. Watching the cranes fly overhead in V after V formation was thrilling, and the noise was almost deafening.
So you just have to touch it lightly and
For me as a photographer, the climax of our trip was watching the birds take flight in unison from the river, with the sun highlighting them as they took to the air. For my wife, it was the evening curtain call, watching them fly overhead to their various roosting places. So if you want a great place to visit in March, the Platte River Valley is the place to go and have a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Unless you go back a second or a third time, like us. We hope you have enjoyed this video and that you will subscribe, like, and share it, so we can continue to share with you more travel ideas. Happy travels!